issued returns previously. They've not been submitted, so we've got 2 years there. I'll just look at what the outstanding amount is.
Yeah, 402 it says, but I don't owe anything.
Well, I think that's just probably one chunk of it.
No,
£737.
No, doesn't say that here.
5.
Well, I've replied to every single letter. I've tried phoning amazing amount of times, and I've sent emails amazing amount of times. It seems like there's like a vacuum that they're getting lost in. But the thing is, I got hold of HMRC, and I've got a recording as well, and he says, oh, that's fine, you know, now he's let us know, it's fine. But basically it was all set up online on the internet, but there's no way of undoing the application online. There's no way of saying it was a mistake online. There's no way of opting out or closing the account, as it were. And it seems to be one-way system. Once you're on it, that is it, and that ain't how I work.
Was when was this call made?
I made this call immediately after I found out that I don't need or require a VAT number. I tried making a business and it didn't work. It totally failed. So I made a loss. I made a huge loss. So how can I declare who's lost? You can't declare it. There's nothing to put in your self-assessment. So therefore, there's no need for one. I phoned up explaining to this, and they said, oh, that's fine, they'll sort it out. And they never did. And I replied to letters, and they never replied to my letters.
What's happened is we issued out...
Doesn't matter what you issue, mate. What I'm telling you is, I set up an account with you...
That's fair enough.
Because I thought I needed to. Let me explain. I'm recording you, by the way, so let me explain. You're gonna, let me tell you something. When I set up the account, it was only because I was trying to do the right thing, right? And when I was on the website, it told me I needed a VAT number, VAT number, tax number, and all this. Okay, so I was going by what the website was saying because I was trying to make an account with them to get a hosting account, a website. So I was setting up the website, and it told me it needed this number, and that's the reason why I got it. And as soon as I did that, I found out I didn't need that number. Okay, I won't to know until after I applied for that thing.
But so what you're saying is you're VAT registered as well?
Oh, what? No, that's what I'm saying. It was asking for a VAT number or whatever, a VAT number, tax number, and it was just all too confusing. There's easy ways to getting in it, but there's no way of explaining what it's all about, and there's no way of getting out of it. And I don't operate like that, man. But basically, right, it's without prejudice. Okay, I don't know. I'm not privy to every single terms and conditions. Therefore, in a court, they'll come around and say, well, if you don't know every single terms and condition, and you're saying you're signing without prejudice, then, you know, you can't be held responsible. You're not bound by any terms and conditions at all. That's how I operate. I don't spend money after I've just made a huge loss on a company that failed. I'm not going to then give away more money, am I? I've also not applied to get any tax refunds. I've not applied to get any tax rebates because I'm not due any. I haven't earned anything. I haven't paid anything into the system. I don't expect any money back. It's not like I'm defrauding you. Okay? Right, so I've had enough. I'll keep getting these letters, keep replying, and they keep getting lost or whatever. And it's just another harassment, day after day after day. The next time I get a letter, it better be with an apology, you know what I mean? Because I've had enough of it.
That's not right, okay. Now, have you had your say? Now it's for you to listen to me now. Because you set up your self-assessment account, we issued out 2 returns to you. There's no tax that has been applied because, as you say, nothing has been filled out, so we've got nothing to apply it to. Now, these were for the year 12, 13, and 13 and 14. Because they were already issued out to you, we expect for them to be returned because it's fair enough you telling us on the phone, the business didn't work, but we need that formally written in these set forms, which is the SA 100. It was your duty to have that returned to us by the end of 31st of January if you were doing it online, and you would have had plenty of notification
Yeah,
And
I'll give you plenty of
to do that,
notification that I wish to close my account, but no one's adhered to my application to say that I want to opt out. I want to opt out. How many times do I have to give notice? I want to opt out. I took your self-assessment, I went online, I logged in, and it came up with 20,000 questions. All it needs to ask me is, how much did you earn in this year? And I'll put it in there, and that should be all. It should know by the numbers that I give it, that one little digit, it should know. But instead of that, they've got no way of saying, oh, I no longer need this anymore. They've got no way of saying how much I need to declare. It's not simple enough. You need to make it simple, yeah?
That's the whole point of the
No, that's the whole point, yeah, to confuse people and fucking, you know what I mean, piss people off. Because that's what all these letters do. That's why they get put in the bin, because they just wind me up. Talking about £400 here and £1,000 there. Right? I've made a huge loss as it is on the website. I've closed down the account. The account don't exist. Right? As far as I'm concerned, the company failed. The company has been closed. And it wasn't even an official company. I didn't make enough to go and register the company. So now you're trying to attack me for a company that's not even registered. So good luck in court, mate. I suggest you either set up the court now in Southampton Court. I won't accept any other court. Or you drop this thing and stop harassing me with letters. Because next time I'm going to put you on my fee schedule, mate. It's costing me fucking giving me a headache. Well, I'm going to charge you for every headache you give me. I went onto your website and it's just a bunch of shit. 20 million pages of questions. You don't need to know anything.
Because there's not that many.
Yes, there is. There's too many. One question is all you need to know. How much did you make within this time to that time? And I could have easily put in 0, mate. And then you could have worked out what I might owe. You assume that I'm a millionaire, and you assume that I've got time to answer a million questions, and you assume I've made money, and I've made a huge loss. So how can I self-assess myself, right, and put a minus figure in, or put a 0 figure in, and still have to go through 20 million questions? It makes no sense, mate. The first question you should ask is, how much did you make? And then, maybe if I've made money, then ask more questions, right? You don't baffle people with bullshit and expect them to do anything about it, because there's nothing I can do about it. I'll close that company down. The company's gone.
Okay, what I'll do for you then is I'll transfer the case over to the enforcement team, and then they'll deal with it. And
so why do you suppose and presume that I should pay £2,000 plus the £400 for this thing for having a company that didn't work out?
Because by law you have a duty to submit your returns because you either find it too difficult or you think there's too many questions.
I agree with you, mate. 100% agree with you. But I haven't made any earnings, have I? I've made a huge loss, haven't I? Yes. For the record, I'm putting this on YouTube to show the criminality in HMRC. I've had enough of it because I've made no money. How can I go into self-assessment and declare nothing? How can I declare a minus figure? For example, I've put £100 into a website that I borrowed off of a friend to make a website. I told him that I'd make money and it failed. I failed, alright? It failed. The company failed. So how can I go on self-assessment and put in minus figures and declare the fact that I've made a loss?
So why can't you? You can do that.
Because that's not in the terms and conditions. You tell me in terms and conditions what I may or may not have signed, under literally without prejudice. Try and tell me how.
Listen to me. When you set up your business, you open up your self-assessment account. You're basically saying that I'm self-employed now.
Can you prove to me that I was in a sound mind when I did that? Can you prove beyond a reasonable doubt that I was in a sound mind?
Regardless of whether you made any money,
no,
whether you made a loss or not.
Can you prove?
To let us know that actually for this year,
I'm putting you on notice officially, right? Can you prove?
What?
Can you prove that I was in a sound mind when I signed that paperwork? I was desperate, trying to make money. I wasn't in a sound mind. I'm still not in a sound mind.
Against it, fair enough.
There's no reason for appeal, mate.
How
can I declare a loss? How do I declare a loss? It doesn't work out in my head.
Of course.
Would you go into a bank account and say, I want to put minus £10 in my account, please? I want to declare that I have minus £10 and I want to put it in your account.
Bank account. We're not a bank.
Well, really? I've got a letter saying debt management and banking. So to me, you are debt management and banking.
Doesn't mean we're a bank, though.
And also, your name is Mrs. C. Graham.
It's not, actually.
Well, this is a letter I've got. I've given you the reference number. Instead of referring me to debt management and banking and giving me to Mrs. C. Graham, you've just said to me that I'm liable. You're telling me that I'm liable thousands of pounds because I haven't earned any money. And because I haven't earned any money, I went on your site to do this.
Well, I told you you're liable to pay because you've not submitted returns.
I told you I went on the website. It's full of questions that I don't understand. It's beyond my comprehension. And it's put me in a worse mental state than when I started. I was in a desperate situation, vulnerable situation. I wasn't on sound mind when I made the application in the first place. I was desperate to try and make a bit of money, to try and survive. Right? Trying to do something right and make a business. And it didn't work. It failed. It's not a real big surprise. It happens every day, mate. But what I don't understand is, I go into this online tax return, and it's just so confusing. Why can't you just say, how much did you earn in this period? Because you know, you're aware of when it was made and how long it takes. Huh?
That is absolutely what the return asks you. It basically says.
No, it don't. It's a whole page of bullshit. It's asking every Tom, Dick and Harry every question that you can.
From the 6th of it.
You want people not to do this.
You're not asked to complete every section. You know.
Well, yeah,
well,
put it on the website then. I develop code. I make code, yeah, and I know how to make a website. And you don't make it confusing and boring and doing. People are not going to do it. People are not going to understand it. You need to understand what
it's an online form.
in.
It's not even a website, is it? It's an online form.
Exactly. Forms are fucking
exactly.
So 19th century. You need to wake up.
That makes life easier.
Yeah, when you apply for a job, you don't get 20 questions.
Come back the next year.
Yeah, you don't get 20 questions all at the same time, right? As soon as you apply for a job or any other form, there's always turn a page and then carry on. But with yours, it's just all on one page. None of it's relevant. How do you just click a box to say, for example, I haven't made any money this time, and then that's fine. We'll see you next year. Why can't you just do that? That's what we call convenience.
Why can't you put zeros in the boxes?
I do, but then it asks all these questions that I can't remember. For example, I can't remember what questions to ask them.
You said you didn't earn anything, so what is it to remember? You put down zeros?
Yeah, that's one question. You haven't got that one question as an option. You've got 20 million questions. I don't know the answers to ask
them. But you put down zeros, you didn't earn any income from any of the sources?
I did. It come up error because there's not enough information. Even though you know all the information. You've got a bloody database, and yet you're asking the information. It's pointless. I can't remember the details to log into that account, to be honest. You know what I mean? So far ago, I was phoned up, I've got a recording, and I explained to him the situation. It was all done in error, and he said, "Oh, that's fine, I'll cancel it." And I didn't hear anything for a little while, and then suddenly £2,000 here and £1,000 there. You know what I mean? I had made a loss already. Why would I just give money away, knowing I've made a loss? It was done in error, so take me off your system. If you're not going to take me off your system, fine, take me to court. Make sure it's Southampton court, make sure you're ready to pay me for my time. Because I'm telling you, you've got to prove now that
okay, that's fair enough. What I'll do then is I'll end this call leaving with two options. So you can either get your returns in and then you can appeal this penalty.
I haven't got any returns
to
put in.
Option. And the second option is...
Do it from your end, mate. Do it from your end. I don't know my accounts. I can't log in. I can't remember my password. I can't remember my login details. I can't remember what email. I can't remember.
For the online
I can't remember my email that I used, mate. I can't remember what I had for dinner yesterday. Well, my mind is fucked. I'm telling you one thing. I haven't made a penny though. Right? What you need to do is just put on a system that I haven't made anything. And that goes for every single other assessment, because I've closed the account. This account now is closed.
That's not something I can do for you. The last person
you look on YouTube, mate. If you look on YouTube, I've already put the recording from the first ever phone call I made. I put it on doing YouTube to cover myself. Right, I'll put this one there as well, and then there'll be two. It's follow-up. And it'll be used in court against you lot, because you lot just caused me harm, less alarm and stress. I can't take it.
All I've done is I've advised you on what to do to clear your...
I don't need to do anything. I don't need your advice. What I need is for you to close my account and stop harassing me. Next letter you send through, I'm going to be billing you and invoicing you for wasting my time.
That's absolutely fine. Okay.
Well, how many times can I say I don't need your services anymore? I'm hereby terminating your services. You're now on notice.
What we'll do is we'll continue with the enforcement action then.
You can do what you like, mate.
Thank you.
Make sure it's Southampton's. I ain't going to go to no Mickey Mouse in court, all right?
Thank you, bye.
Oh, yeah, you better get a good solicitor.